In a world where the it thing is always changing, sometimes you need a tour guide or two to help you find your way to pop culture's paradise. If you find yourself reminiscing or in need of a good recommendation, these two have you covered. And now, here's your hosts, Joey and Jeff.
Welcome back to Pop Culture Paradise. My name is Joe, and I think you know who this guy is.
What's going on? I'm Jeff.
And today, Jeff and I are going to bring you back to the past to discuss something we all had, even though we're not quite sure why we even had one. Jeff, can you take a guess what today's topic is about?
Well, I know what it is. You told me ahead of time, and it's on the title as the viewers are watching this. But we're hopping in the Wayback Machine, and we're going to discuss I don't know if there's a better word to describe it than this, just the craze that was the Razor scooter. And we're going to discuss and come up with theories as to why they became so popular, because I'm still scratching my head all these 20 some odd years later as to why everybody in the neighborhood had to have one. It was a legitimate craze. Like, you have Furbies, you have Pokemon cards, and for some reason you had the Razor scooter and all the knockoffs.
And the scooter kind of fell into that, like, when people make a joke of that time period, that's one of the 3 or 4 items they name check that everybody had to have. And it was like so big and then gone, which makes it like a Furby or a Nano Baby, or it had no lasting popularity, except it kind of did from my research. It's still going today. They still have versions of this.
Really?
And yeah, I was shocked. I even learned, and we'll find out, there are ongoing Razor scooter trick competition leagues. So they want to make it as big as your BMX or your skateboarding or even inline. So there's like superstars in this industry, and even the kids that I see in the 2000 videos we're going to see, they're like now coaches and ambassadors. They're like the Tony Hawks of scootering.
Let me just say, there was a very short window of time where somebody could get away with bringing a Razor scooter to the skate park. Because after that time frame, if you did, you either got laughed out of the park or you got beat up.
I wanted to figure out where this all came from and like what made it even popular in the first place. How did it just spring up overnight? And one of my first things I like to do is think, all right, what in pop culture may have influenced this, right? And I went on those websites where it tells you like TV tropes where, oh, this type of thing happens in all kinds of different sitcom episodes, or this major pop phenomenon showed up in all this media. And I wanted to see, where did the scooter show up? And the closest thing I got was the scooter was ridden by the kids on According to Jim. And I honestly don't think trends came from the TV show According to Jim.
No, I don't think they did either. I don't even remember that show, 1 and 2.
What?
I just remember, like, randomly certain kids in the, neighborhood would have one, or you'd see kids at, riding them to school and back, and you're like, what is that? And then soon it's like you don't want to be left out and be the only one that didn't have one, so you're beating down your parents' door trying to get them to buy you a Razor scooter. And if I remember, they were significantly more expensive back during this craze than you can just go score one at Walmart today.
Yeah, it was one of those things where you had to like make sure the store had a certain supply in, and then you had to rush. If you didn't get there in time, that supply was going to be gone. And I believe I bought mine with extra Christmas money and made sure that it was the Razor scooter. And I believe I got mine at like Sears, maybe, or Filene's. I believe. One of those department stores where they have a section for all this stuff, but you don't think of it as the place to buy toys or stuff for kids other than clothes.
I think maybe my first one, it might have been a knockoff, but the only way you could legitimately tell is on the front, steel part. It said Razor across it. There was one that I had that I think began with an S, but I just can't remember the name of it, and hopefully you have some, like, clips of it here, but I think my first one was a knockoff. And if you never got off the scooter, nobody could tell. And then I think I may have stole one from somebody. I'm just going to put that out there, okay? But we're not snitches here in Pop Culture Paradise, so we'll keep this to ourselves.
So if you're not familiar with the Razor scooter, let's give you an example of what a Razor scooter is. This is a little bit newer than what we grew up with, but it's pretty close. honestly, time period footage of the scooter buried all around the net. And it's so strange for something so popular. Finding early material wasn't that easy. So I even had to go into the personal family archive to find home movie footage of when my sister got a scooter and when I get the scooter in 2000. But let's first take a look at the Razor scooter.
Dude, you just digging, finding all this stuff is why we're friends. I love it. Dude, there it is. The thing is slick, right?
Absolutely. Now, this is how pretty much all the kids I knew rode the scooter.
Right.
Little kicking, little pushing, smooth surface, no tricks, no frills.
No, it's just to, casually just cruise around. This one looks a little bit souped up.
Now, I think what Razor really did right was those colors pop.
Oh yeah, with the wheels, and then I think so you had your brake on the back, but then they started dropping ones that had the little like wheelie bar on it, so you could just ride up on one wheel.
This girl is struggling a little bit.
Yeah, but look at her, she looks so happy. And then you watch this as a kid, you're like, I want to be as happy as this little girl is. And there's a perfect example. Those colors are crazy. You had the blue, the red, the green, the purple. They were just, dude. They're pretty slick looking still.
This episode is going to convince you to buy one, isn't it?
Dude, we're headed that way.
So, like I said...
Where's my phone? I'm hopping on Amazon.
You know what? You can get them cheap nowadays. So, like I said, I had to go into the archives to show you what this looked like in the past. Because Razor Scooter's still out there making an attempt to make this thing as popular as it once was. Adding engines and new sleek designs... And it just wasn't like that back then. Now, as you've heard on the show, we're both from Maine, and Maine winters go on forever. So if you're getting this present at Christmas time, what's going to happen?
You gotta keep it in the box or ride it around the house for about 5 more months.
And how well does riding it around the house go?
Not well. You usually get a stern talking to in your household, or in my household, you get the broom taken to you.
And that's the problem right there, too, because you got this great new vehicle, but unlike a bicycle or a skateboard, you could actually get this in the house, and if you have enough space, you can ride it.
Oh, yeah, you could cruise this thing around in the kitchen, the hallways. You could try to, if you dared enough, try to take it down the stairs, but sooner or later, one of your parents are going to come upstairs and they are not going to be pleased because it's just noisy, especially when you're trying to do like tricks and jumps and you're bumping into stuff and
all they hear is the rattling of any kind of knick-knack or things on a shelf.
Yeah, that are just waiting to break.
And you're like, I don't care about that. I'm waiting till April here.
Yeah.
I got to be ready for that scooter life. So this is Christmas 2000, and you'll see my cousin, and you'll see a young me down in his basement on Christmas Day, and we all got scooters.
Dude, I gotta tell you, we used to rock the hell out of those bowl cuts. We did.
The bowl cut is life, okay?
I want to know, in this clip, who is putting this table together? What is this?
Well, my cousins at the time, since this is where we're at, they got themselves a nice air hockey table.
Oh, cool.
So, the parents' responsibility at Christmas time, they can't have fun. They're assemblymen.
Oh, they're setting up everything. But with your scooter, it's kind of already ready.
Well, they
out the box.
Exactly. So this is what I'm talking about. It's scooter time right now.
Yep.
So you get yourself a nice clear runway, nice smooth basement, and you learn the machine.
At this time, did y'all not know that you could raise up your handlebars so it was like, higher? Because right now... See, this kid, no problem. He's short as hell.
Yeah, I may have been borrowing theirs. I should have been borrowing its jacket. That is a sweet fighter jacket.
Look is this Chrissy on the camera?
Yeah, she's terrible. So that's what I think you mean, right? Is that a Razor or non-Razor?
Dude, I don't know. That one to me looked like one of the knockoffs, but it's so hard to tell because they're all built the exact same. They probably all come from the same manufacturer. It just has a different logo on it.
So Razor Scooter did a pretty good job of, at that time period, being like, hey, kid, you need this. Will this ad sell you today?
Is your scooter tough enough for this?
Sharper Image Wheelie Razor is the hottest thing on 2 wheels.
Ah.
Don't be left out. And don't throw your money away on cheap
no
imitations.
FOMO. Don't get
If
the
you wanna
cheap
have
ones.
real
Yeah,
fun,
right.
You better
Who
have
is
the
throwing
scooter
away
that can
a
handle
full
it.
working scooter?
Yeah, and if they did, I'd be picking them all up, and me and my friends would be riding in style.
That trash can had like 4 of them in it.
Well, dude, you know what? I think they had to go as far as to make the point, like, if you want to be one of the real cool kids, you have to have the Razor. If you have a knockoff, your scooter can't handle this stuff. And I don't necessarily find that to be factual, because like, they're all just built the exact same.
I kind of remember when you brought these things outside, I remember the Razor handling better, and I remember the wheels sticking a lot less, and you had a smoother ride on the Razor than I ever did using my sister's scooter if it was around, as you'll see in this, because she got the bootleg one. But you can hear my mom convincing her, oh, I talked to the person who was selling this.
This is the one
and
you want right here.
This is the winner, the sales pitch.
Radical Racer.
Oh, yay.
$100, that's what it says.
$70, you get a Radical
This one's
Racer.
Cool.
Jeez,
I
that
like
means the Razors must have been selling for like 130, 140.
Because I could get the other one,
Better than what?
the Razor one. I like this one better.
I like this one better. That's just a typical mom, and bless her
You could
heart
get
for
one
doing that. Look at the wheelie bar on the back of it. That's dope.
Everybody needs scooters.
Joey's like, I don't like scooters. Dustin like was riding all over the house.
All right, so there we go. I got called out.
You
I was
did.
like,
Scary.
I was like,
You're like, I'm
3
too
days
cool
too
for
early.
those.
Yeah.
So,
6 days later,
like, just got
I gotta
it.
buy
He just,
myself
like,
a scooter,
already
but I want the Razor. It's cooler.
Right.
Sorry, I was a little bit too hipster. So do you think you had the Radical Racer?
Dude, no. I thought I may have had one even lower budget than that. I could have sworn it began with an S. It might have just said scooter over the top of it.
It might have been one of those ones from the 80s.
It wasn't a Radical Racer or a Razor scooter. It might have just been plain old scooter. I don't know, bro.
So I'm thinking my mom might have gotten advice from this kid because he also doesn't seem to be a fan of the Razor scooter.
Alright, so just a little disclaimer before I start this video. I'm not bashing Razor scooter.
Yeah, you are.
It's just I'm
Just do it on the
just
ground.
giving a few reasons why they suck. I'm not
okay.
saying
Just a
that,
few
like,
reasons why they
Razor is
suck.
a bad company or anything, but
Yeah, because they might sponsor me when I get older.
Hey, he's a diplomat, okay?
Who does this kid thinks he's like 9-10 years old. You're not an influencer. And give your dad his GoPro back. Jeez, kid.
All kids these days are influencers, don't you know that?
Right, Jesus.
So maybe Jeff got swindled and his parents couldn't figure out how to spot a fake Razor. And I found a website that lets you know how to find one of them fake Razor scooters. Now, did you know that not only some companies are copying the design of the scooter, but they go to the extent of using the Razor logo?
So wait a
And-
minute. You're telling me they're not only knocking these things off, but they're trying to sell you one like someone would a fake Gucci purse. Like, no,
Yes.
this is the real deal, not just like a knockoff brand. They're trying to like sell you a fake. Okay. Gosh, dude, it's brutal out here.
And there are certain ways that you, yourself, the consumer, can look out for a fake. Now, a real Razor scooter has a handlebar, which, when they're inserted into the head tube of the Razor, are smooth and rounded, where a fake will be kind of rough and not smooth when you put in there, which I remember actually from those bootleg ones. And then your brake pedal is forged and the underside is smoothed on the real one. And the fake one has die casting process, which leaves a circle around the underside of the brake pedal.
Yikes.
So,
Dude, so you're telling me that Razor scooter knockoffs were so wild that there had to be some sort of public service announcement made about it and some sort of like informative video to be sure that you don't buy the wrong. This is nuts.
well, when you're winning in the marketplace, you can't let these other companies come around and eat your lunch. You need to let them know that, hey, see those wheels? Our wheels are real, and these are some cheap plastic wheels. That's
Right.
garbage. You don't want your kids playing with that, because if you're a kid, you're like, It looks like a Razor scooter for the most part.
Right.
Other than Razor, you're not going in there with technical expertise about why this thing isn't what it is.
No. I just loved how your mom was like, no, trust me. I spoke to the woman at Sears, and the Radical Racer, it's a tier above. The Razor's ripping them off. Your mom sold Chrissy harder than she probably got sold at the store, and God bless her for it. I love that clip, dude.
And where else are you going to get this type of quality?
How you gonna do wheelies without a wheelie bar? Sharper Image is the only place you can get the authentic original wheelie razor, color-coordinated grips, matching non-skid surface, and the exclusive wheelie
I remember
bar for better
the
control
foamy
and advanced
grips
tricks.
with the Healy bar. These were like the next level razor.
Well, you need it if you're out there doing tricks. You don't want to damage your hand. And look at the value.
Every order comes
Yeah,
with a
$19
free
value
$19
free.
custom carrying
You get a
case.
carrying
Call
case.
now and be sure to ask for 2-day shipping.
Why would you carry
Or a
your
free
scooter
set of
somewhere?
lighted
Wouldn't you
wheels
just scoot
worth
wherever you're
$24
going?
for a total
Dude,
extra
the light
value
up
of over
wheels, let's
$40.
go!
You know the drill. Now get the thrill. If it doesn't say Sharper Image,
You know the
didn't get
drill.
the real deal.
Now
Be
get
sure to
the
ask for our
thrill.
free-lighted wheels and 2-day
Can we
shipping. Call 1-800-441-2400,
redub this?
1-800-441-2400.
Can you write down all the lines and let me redub it? Please?
Done.
That would be amazing.
At this point, you know.
So wait, hold on. Whoa, before you move on, what were they selling there? Were they selling a bag? Or what was that?
So, in the world of scootering, you had to have accessories. So you have to have a carrying bag, because like every item, your cameras, your DJ equipment, you gotta sell them the carrying bag.
Except my
just an
DJ
upsell.
gear, except my DJ gear isn't transportation. Oh, scooter is transportation. Why would you need a case to transport it in? What
Well,
is this?
Well, maybe you're at work or something, or at school, and you need to put it in something to kind of hide it a little.
All right, if you're a grown man at work, yes, you should be hiding your Razor scooter. Come on.
And then, on top of that, you get the lighted wheels.
Those are dope. I love that. That's cool.
And as we see later in the demonstration videos, they'll start selling you, little ramps or little sidebars or something that you could practice your tricks on.
Yeah.
Now, did this sound like you?
Check out my sweet Razor mini scooter, isn't it
Here we
sweet?
go.
Is it fast? No, dude, it's slow as hell. Is it fun to ride? No, dude, the handlebars go crooked every time I get on. Well, damn, that sounds amazing. I can't wait to get one myself.
Yep. Dude, that was an accurate representation right there.
It did seem like those things always went sideways, or like you always had to like re-straighten everything back
Alignment
up.
was always getting jacked up. No matter what, and you had to stand in front of it and hold the wheel with your feet and twist the bars until it would line back up. But you would have to do that all the time.
I found the bootleg ones also, like that freaking scooter, the Radical Racer. That thing would always go out of alignment.
Really?
The Racer had less issues.
It's the real deal.
Now, this ad from the time period is an Australian ad, and I don't know if they knew who they were marketing to, because right now we're talking kids, right?
Right, yeah.
So why is this ad so filled with adults?
I gotta see this.
Wow, it's here, the fabulous mini scooter. It's fun, it's lightweight, super strong, and easy to ride.
All right,
So
there's
get
one
on
kid.
The coolest way to
There's
move
one
around
girl.
at the hottest
Okay.
price in town.
He just left a, like,
$99, but only at Hobart or
telecommunications
Copperhead now.
meeting, and he's like, "All right, guys, peace out. I'm gonna scoot on out of here." All right. Well, you saw kids using it. You saw businessmen. You saw just I don't know moms using it. So they're trying to go for the broad approach here. Here in the States, it was strictly like, that kid to kind of tween age.
We're going to introduce you to the world of scooters, because it didn't just become a thing that you and your pals did. This tried to become a thing. Now, can you describe the type of guy who you would think would narrate a scooter video?
In one word, radical.
Radical. All right, what does he look like?
He definitely has. He has one of those shell necklaces everybody used to wear. He probably has his shoes bar laced. He definitely has rings and bracelets of some form, and some sort of like spiky hair.
All right, let's introduce you to the world of scooters with one of the hosts that I found on these scooter tapes.
I've always been amazed
Please,
at how
please.
quickly something so new can become so huge. Hi, I'm Eric Wiley.
Dude, I told you.
Scooters in all shapes
It's
and
Guy
sizes have
Fieri's
been around
brother.
since the beginning
It
of the
is.
20th century. Skateboarding first came on the scene
How
in the 70s.
about a little damn
and inline skating in the
enthusiasm, bro?
90s.
You're trying to
And
sell
now,
me here. Don't put me to sleep.
This. Some people refer to them as razors, one of the founding companies. They offer a quick and easy way to get around for work or fun. Their simple collapsible design allows
very
you to store them
quick, but-
almost anywhere.
Shh.
Jeez, all right, we recently talked about great pitchmen. He is not on that bracket at all.
No.
And you know what? The funny thing about him is he seemed like he was like some director's brother that wasn't young enough to necessarily know what was going on, but they were going to try to dress him like he was.
I
And they're
think
like, "Look, man."
he fell right into that zone where you're too old to be in the youth market, but you're a little too young to be an adult authority.
Yeah. So we're gonna make it seem like you're hip and you're in the know. And gosh, poor delivery for that guy. 2 thumbs down.
Poor Guy Fieri's brother. Guy settled with the career in making food and making billions.
Yeah,
and this
he got all the
he's like,
talent.
Listen, food is lame. Scooters. Now that's where the money's at. Now, if you think that last guy had no enthusiasm for scooter, what about these people who just mock the Razor scooter?
Oh no.
Your scooter. Yeah, look at her. What do you think, huh? This thing has got wheelie bar.
Do you think that guy could get the pitch job?
No, what was he trying to accomplish by doing that? And what was he filming that on?
He was filming that on his old Razor camera.
He
His
filmed that
Razor
on.
phone.
Yeah, he filmed that on a Razor.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, well, dude, he was just, I don't know, he was some punk just looking to trash talk it, but he just made himself look like an idiot.
Now, with Razor Scooter, obviously, you have to assemble, disassemble, and this is how it was done.
Click, click,
And then, bam.
drop. Yup. And then
wish-
up, click.
I wish the
Gone.
music was more authentic to the time frame because that sounds like you're about to watch somebody's vlog as opposed
No, that's
to
what I
like
was thinking
something very
too. I was like,
radical.
This is some sort of like, cinematic vlogger, YouTube vlogger, and no, it was just, it was kind of peaceful. I kind of wouldn't mind watching that again.
Who's that guy that you like to follow? Casey Neistat back in the day?
Yeah, he was
Like,
great.
could you just imagine he just walks up, this is how you set up a Razor scooter.
Oh yeah, and he would be on the scooter, vlogging down friggin', Times Square.
And then they'd be like, all right, get out of here. Are
Yeah.
you 30 or 50? Now, the one thing the Razor scooter is not, despite probably Jeff having a story of using it as one, it is not a weapon, even if this ad sort of suggests that you can fight with it.
This guy
And
looks like the dude from Turtles 2. What was his name?
Shoot, what's his name? You face him in a Tatsu?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you face him in Hyperstone Heist with the Genesis.
Yeah.
Now, are you prepared for some karate fighting with your Razor scooter?
Dude, if you got hit with one of those things, you were done. Oh my god! Look out!
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness!
What a cheap piece of junk. Should have got a Razor.
Right. The Razor you can fight with, but the knockoffs, not at all. Choose your weapon. No, was that a legit marketing campaign?
That was a legit marketing campaign.
Oh
Why was
my
that guy dressed like
goodness.
Ken from Street Fighter?
Yeah, dude, no, that should not be targeted to children. Because I think I've either been hit or hit somebody with a Razor scooter, and you imagine how hard that hurts because you've hit yourself with one by accident just trying to do tricks, and that stings like a son of a gun. That was brutality.
And, you know, out of all the things you could hit people with, like, all right, a skateboard is probably something you could belt somebody with. A bike, not so much, because you're not getting a good swing on that thing. But a folded up scooter, you could do some damage. That's like 3 pipes, basically.
Oh, dude, you'd be done. You'd be KO'd.
If only we knew somebody who was crazy enough that probably would have hit somebody with a scooter.
Yeah, if only.
I'm surprised it never showed up in our backyard, Fed.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being beaten with that thing? Oh, this is just a spot we're going to do right now.
Yeah. I'd say at least have the, decency in you to beat me with a Razor scooter, not with a knockoff, and demean me in front of the whole backyard Fed.
So I learned a little bit about scooter as I was going through these videos. And did you know that the scooter originated from Asia?
I'm actually not surprised by that. That makes a lot of sense to me.
The scooter hit it big in Asia, where they made their mark as a
not
modern
this guy
form
again.
of transportation. With all the hype on action sports,
Why is he
from
dressed
Tony
like he's
Hawk's
repping
900
the
at last
Crips?
summer's X Games to the booming surf and inline industry, it was only natural that scooters would make their way into American culture.
Scooters were so big, as we find out, that kids didn't want to play baseball anymore. They just wanted to scooter.
Right.
Baseball's supposed to be America's pastime,
But
yet
it's
the number
not.
of kids
We
getting
beat it.
involved in the sports
Not
of the new
anymore.
millennium are growing
Because we're
every
scooting.
day.
Look
Scooter
at the
sales
air
will reach an
quotes.
all-time record high by year's end.
Baseball, that's for nerds.
Yeah, pretty much.
The thing about scooters, too, was, somebody's got to talk about it in the adult world. They got to let the adults know how cool we think this thing is, right?
Tonight on the 5 o'clock news, Monday, we're talking
Monday at
Razor
5 on the
scooters.
Channel 4
There we go.
News. They're the hottest
Monday
way to
at
get around
5.
town on 2 or even 3 wheels. What is this new form of
newsmaker
transportation?
jokes.
And could
No,
it be
2
the answer
wheels.
for your daily commute? Find out Monday at 5, only on the Channel 4 News.
Could it be the answer to your daily commute?
It could. I don't know how it is up there anymore, but here in the South, there are bike lanes everywhere. So they have their own specific lane rather than riding with traffic. So I think in some sense you could put the scooter in that realm. So if you have a quick trip to work, sure, that could kind of help you save gas and all that jazz. But man, I don't know as an adult if I want to roll up to work on my Razor scooter, even if it is a blue one.
You said you got yours at Christmas time, and I think that was a very common thing. I'd find articles online where people would start their 90s nostalgia, and they'd be like, the one thing I wanted for Christmas was a scooter. Like, I found this one girl wanted a pink scooter.
All right.
And, and then they started trying to make it like, what's the modern day equivalent? And then at that point, I checked out.
Yeah.
And then I got to the point where I was like, well, how many of these friggin' things got sold, right? Can you take a guess how many were sold in the year 2000?
In the year 2000 alone, knowing that the big boom was definitely around Christmas time, even though us in the Northeast weren't able to enjoy them for another 5 months.
In the first 6 months, how many?
Let's see, man. I gotta say like 200 million.
Well, 5 million.
Okay, 5 million.
It was named.
I was way off.
It was named Toy of the Year, and then the first electronic one came out in 2003.
Now, to me, I don't know if those ones were as cool as the traditional kick push. It kind of takes away the fun out of it and takes any fitness aspect out of it too, right?
It kind of does, doesn't it? Because you see the kids in these trick videos, you don't have any electronic motor. You got to do it all yourself, get your own momentum.
Right.
And that's why you go to these skate parks with the ramps, or you just go to a hill or somewhere where you could get natural momentum.
Or your local Hannaford. I used to see kids in there all the time just cruising around.
Yeah, it kind of loses something. Like, all right, the scooter's already fringe on how cool you can make it after its initial cool period.
Yeah, you can put a wheelie bar on it. You can put lights in the wheels. You can only do so much.
And then if you can do a trick on it, then all right, that's kind of cool. I see the point of this thing. That's the thing you're good at. But if you're just riding around on an electronic motor, that's not cool at all.
You might as well have a moped. or what is it called? A Vespa?
Yes.
My pal Aaron owns a Vespa. He's 6'11". It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life, and he rides it around.
Did he join a team like this?
In the last decade, action sports have grown beyond anyone's expectations. From skateboarding
Razor
to
scooter,
inline skating,
like
to freestyle BMX
motorcycle
and motocross.
clubs. They got their cuts
And in
on.
2000,
Sam Crow.
Razor USA reinvented and broke all the
Yeah,
rules
I'm like
with their
the
new line of scooters.
Jax Teller of the Razor crew, man.
They're all the same guy, because that's a completely other host.
Yeah.
If you couldn't tell.
No.
And they all have that same low energy.
Yeah, what is with that? Is that just like a 2000s thing or what? Because I remember everybody just being super excited and a bunch of graphics and wide angles and fish lenses.
I think it's one of two things. You're either at an 11 because you just have all the energy, or you're too cool to have any energy.
Right.
This is an example of the competitions that happened at that time period.
Let's see it. I'm in.
Look at this kid.
Oh my goodness. At least they got helmets on because they are these like dirt tracks? And the music is so appropriate. It's ridiculous.
Oh, we're going to get to an example of some of the soundtracks that I heard on this.
Oh my God.
There was, I want to say every single type of music was like a low quality version of some famous band.
Right. To me, that sounded like some sort of low rent Good Charlotte or something like that.
I learned about the life of some of these scooter kids and what they would do on their team journeys. They do trips to New York City. Just scooting around town.
Oh my God. They're going to get jumped in a heartbeat.
Does this feel unsafe to you?
Yes, it does.
And you know how kids love the naked cowboy.
Yeah, right?
This guy shot more footage of him than freaking
Yeah, they're probably
kids.
like, these kids are trying to take my shine.
The kids? Did you see that one little girl tip him?
Yeah, what was that about? Hey, girl, go, toss his dollar in his boot.
She's 12. This isn't gonna look right in about 20 years.
Is this on the screen right here? Is this some sort of game? Could you VR riding a Razor scooter?
Well, you couldn't VR it. You didn't have the virtual reality. You just had to do it like Tony Hawk, because this scooter trend, it's gonna be the next Tony Hawk. It's gonna be just as cool as skateboarding, so they needed a video game, right?
Absolutely.
So why not have a little bit of a Razor scooter video game? And when you beat the game, I thought this strange cutscene, I don't know, I couldn't quite understand what was going on here. Tell me if you understand this story.
But there's a bunny I can see now.
So a gator is chasing a bunny and what appears to be a bear?
I thought it was a beaver.
That might be a beaver. It is a beaver. I don't know. The costume sucks.
What does it have to do with scooters?
You beat the Razor scooter game. This is in the end credits. Duh. You don't remember this being part of scooter life?
No. This looks like something we would have filmed, though.
Yes, it does. So maybe you just need more of a context clue. Now, there's a gorilla and like a drug deal. He's like, hey, you want to get away?
I got the good stuff. Come on over here.
And they're like, oh, he looks trustworthy. Look at those eyes.
Yeah, this ain't no radical racer. This is the real deal.
Like he just has two. Like he's expecting these guys to show up all day.
Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Look at all the money.
How much did they pay him with?
A bag full of money.
Wait, do you think maybe the gator was the good guy and they just robbed a bank?
I don't know, but I want to know why they're not riding them right now. Why are they just holding their transportation? Okay, here we go. This is so they can get away from the evil gator faster. Look at that.
He knew exactly
Gone.
what he was doing.
Yeah, he's gone.
And you gotta love the long leg kicks.
Yeah.
That's what everybody did when they thought they were being really cool.
Right.
Like, I don't need balance.
I'm gonna pick up some real speed.
Oh.
See ya.
What? Hey, it's the Cowboys defense from last year. He's getting cut.
Yeah, he's gone.
Except he's pretty determined. He's still after him.
He doesn't give up on the play, I'll say that.
Except his smoker's lung.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. How'd he come up with a third one?
Excuse me. Yeah, this guy does not look trustworthy.
Give me a bag of money, get a scooter.
So this was when you defeated the game?
Yep. Oh, wait a minute. He had a fourth one. How does he keep showing up with new ones? Oh, they don't like this. They feel like they've been swindled.
Uh-oh. Get him! Come here, you dirty ape.
He's going bananas, bananas.
I'm out of here. He's gonna get hit by a truck, isn't he?
I wish, but no.
That is definitely something we would have filmed. Absolutely.
So do you understand anything that video was about? Why a gorilla was selling bootleg scooters on the side of the road? Why a gator was chasing a rabbit and a beaver?
You know, I really don't. I don't understand what that has to do with the game at all. And I'm glad that I never purchased the game and defeated it, because I would have been a little disappointed in that.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't seem like the most satisfying reward.
No.
Now, when you were trying to get a scooter, what were some of the selling points that you'd tell your parents?
It was, you know, I don't even know if I was even a great salesman back then. It was just, Mom, but it's so cool. That was like it. Honestly, it's so cool. And I'll be able to ride around the neighborhood, and I can go to school and back, and I can be real fast. And that's probably the best pitch that I had back then.
So it's basically like, you know, I can get to where I need to go a little bit faster. I can travel, right?
Yeah.
You didn't bring school into the equation, right? You didn't say it would help you with your schoolwork or spend more time at school?
I don't know how it would. Because if you have your scooter, you're going to want to leave school and go ride around on your Razor scooter.
What if it allowed you to travel home faster so you can stay after school longer, so you can stay there longer, get back quicker before the sun comes down?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Kid needs a bag.
Yeah. Come on, dude. You know your combination has been the same thing all year. There you go.
All right, everything he's done so far in this commercial is a struggle.
Yep, and he's gone. Until a senior takes a football out and just darts him right in the head.
Kid's not even wearing a helmet.
No, but I will say he looks pretty damn cool on that thing.
And the problem is, without a helmet, we've all had this story.
So I take off. Who knows how fast I'm going? 5, maybe even 6 miles an hour, pushing it to the limit. I go to make the jump, and my front wheel nicks the top of the barrier, and I soar through the air like a goddamn superhero. I land in the middle of the street and damn near snap my clavicle in half. Some lady driving a Oldsmobile has to slam on her brakes. God damn you kids and your midget scooters!
Damn you kids and your midget scooters! That's funny.
So did I ever tell you the time in college where I went out in the middle of the night to drop off a paper, and the only means of transportation I had was a scooter?
No, that's not a true story.
All right, so I was taking this class, and at the end of the year, there was an assignment to have a whole journal's worth of entries, right?
Right.
And you had to use all sort of the class's buzzwords, their theme topics. At this point, I can't even remember what the class was, but I just knew that like it was one of those assignments that was so busy work that if you did it all at once, you just had to remember to just fake stories and fake emotions and correspondence and like, you know, just correlating ideas basically.
Right, right.
So you had to be like, oh, I really felt like this, or it was parallel to this thing that happened in whatever the hell we're learning about, right?
So it's due at a certain time. You have to cram to get it finished, and then you're flying to school on the scooter?
It is due at midnight that night.
Oh, God.
The colleges for each of the divisions have like these little side houses.
Yeah.
That they're like houses modified to be office buildings, right?
Okay.
So basically the teacher's like, all right, it has to be in the mail slot by midnight. So I am flying through getting all these journal entries done. I am working through Monday Night Raw.
Okay, once you get on the scooter, are you long stepping?
Well, here's what's happening here. I get everything done. I would say it's about 10. It's like halfway through Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
And I am like, all right, I got to get this thing in now. I know the trip probably takes about an hour, but I or so walking or running.
Oh gosh.
It is.
So you're like, oh, I'll cut that time in half on my Razor scooter.
Right. Well, because I'm thinking first, I'm like, all right, I only have my driver's permit, so I'm not doing that. I don't have my glasses.
Oh gosh.
I think there's something messed up at the time period, and it is downpouring in the rain.
Oh no.
So I'm like, all right, this is gonna be terrible, but I'm gonna have to walk. Wait a minute, I have the scooter. Well, first I think the bike, but I'm looking at the bike and I'm like, this thing hasn't been used in years. I think that tire is deflated. We don't have a pump around. And then I'm thinking, this is gonna be a long ass freaking journey. Where's my iPod or MP3 player at the time? The Creative Zune.
Yep.
Creative Labs there, making the heck of the iPod before the iPod actually had
Dude,
storage space.
those were juggernauts. I loved them.
But I think that thing was on the fritz. So I'm like, all right, oh no, I need something to kill the time period. So I grabbed the old cassette player.
Oh gosh.
So I'm listening to the friggin' radio halfway come in.
Nice.
On this thing, on batteries that I'm pretty sure had been in there for like 2 years. So they're, who knows when they're gonna give out. I take the scooter out. I am flying.
But wait a minute. When you busted out the scooter, was it cool like it shows in these commercials where you just...
No, I'm soaking wet in an old backpack, panicking to get there on time. Doing that like rain sweat. So you're wet from the rain, but you're also wet because you're sweating and doing extreme cardio.
Miserable.
I get there at probably 11:20 or so, drop it in the mail slot, start heading on the way back. Now, if you know anything about Portland, you know how like the road changes, what type of texture it is. So sometimes it's nice, smooth concrete. Sometimes it's grass for a little bit. Sometimes it's brick.
Yeah.
Well, this is that strip right across from the 7-Eleven.
You can be cruising smooth, and then all of a sudden...
Oh, yeah. So it goes from cement to gravel to pavement to brick. So this thing on the way back catches the wheel, sends me flying head over scooter right in the middle of the freaking road. I am busted up all over my arm. I'm bleeding everywhere.
Road rash, dude.
And luckily it's like 11:20 at night, so I think one car was arriving at that point. So no one's seeing me completely wipe out. But the wheels completely pretty much knocked out in the wrong direction. I'm bleeding. I'm trying to get back. I'm soaking wet.
Yeah, though to this day, there's still that one person that saw you that still tells the story. Hey, remember that time that kid was cruising on the scooter and he totally ate it?
It was probably the 7-Eleven guy. Probably why we were big. He was a big fan of us. He remembered me. He saw out the window while he was working.
Yep.
He said, "You wiped out, bub."
Bub, that's some gnarly road rash there, bub. That'll be 559.
I wasn't anything like this kid. This kid, I think I probably should have taken his example and walked alongside my scooter after leaving the school.
In this case,
well, you were in college.
A contract to make her apologies and attend courses on peer pressure and victim awareness.
See, I was
peer pressure.
All the evaluation done so far, the one thing
those roads don't look safe.
Yet is whether youth panels are any better at stopping offending.
I'm walking with the scooter.
Yeah.
So if I was a little younger, instead of having to drop off an assignment that I probably should have done on time and handed in when I had the class that day, I could have just gone to, where else? McDonald's.
Absolutely, I would have. Yeah, Mickey D's, yeah. Put those damn scooters away, kids.
Those are some greasy kids. Those are freaking urchins.
Whose parents are just letting these kids just, all right, all right, Timmy, you and your crew can just, leave our terrace and drive into town to go to McDonald's. Yeah, you're fine.
You may not have been the scooter kid. What was a scooter kid to you? What did a scooter kid look like, sound like?
Oh, it was either one of two kids. It was either like a super nerdy kid, or it was that one kid that had like unexplained ADHD and would try anything to impress everybody.
Maybe one of these kids?
Oh yeah, he's riding two scooters at once. Definitely that kid.
You like his Magnum stare as he's drinking his juice?
Right?
I'm too cool for you to film me, Mom.
Yeah.
Would you say that they would try a dangerous stunt like this?
Oh my goodness.
You're gonna
Wait,
break your
what?
neck, kid.
That's like a waterfall. Oh my, dude, that was a recipe for a busted knee. And then he just walks away from it. Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah, that just happened. Get out of here.
Complete disregard for Scooter.
The disrespect for the Scooter, bro.
I would bet this kid would even be named something like, I don't know, give me a name.
Simon.
A Simon?
Yep.
Or maybe a Devin.
Could be.
So this is Devin, and he is a skate...
Of course it is.
He's a scooter pro.
Well, dude, clearly he's going backwards. He's doing the spins with it, grinding, the
Not
big
wearing a
air
helmet, losing his hat.
Right, with the big twist.
Now, is he cool in the skate park, or is he just taking up valuable real estate?
It would depend on the time frame, because if this was at the peak of the scooter, he was definitely, welcomed in. But if it was even a day after said allowed time, he was being like, at least at the minimum, ridiculed behind his back.
Do you think he maybe snuck in some booze to try to make friends with the older kids? Because he's cool, but he's not that cool.
No.
Cool enough to not wear his helmet.
Right? I love the big fisheye lens just to make it so much more dramatic. Like if we filmed this without the fisheye, it would just look terrible and not radical at all.
And you gotta have the long hair too. That adds to the effect when you're doing all these spins.
Oh, absolutely.
And that kid is one of the new school Razor scooter kids.
Okay.
So he's got the fisheye equipment at his disposal. Now, back in the day, it wasn't easy. So this guy is no Josh Toy, the star of some of these videos.
Oh, gosh.
Now, if you're looking to get really good on
that is a
scooter,
grown-ass
a few
man.
names come to mind. First of which
He's
is
not Josh Toy.
Josh has been riding.
You know what it is? This guy looks like he was. He looks like he was really good at this when he was a kid.
So,
and it was a part of his life that he holds the most dearest, and he's just never let it go. And his friends are all like, "Dude, we outgrew that 15 years ago."
And I think that's the thing that happened in the Razor community, because this Josh Toy I looked up as well, and he is a modern day ambassador. So I guess once you're a scooter guy, you're a scooter guy for life. It's like the NWO.
For life.
All right, now Josh Toy looks like somebody that definitely we hung out with back then.
He has the perfect name to be a Razor scooter ambassador, I'll say that.
Look at this kid. This kid is 2002, 2003.
Hey guys, my name's Josh Toy. I'm here to give you a tour of my house. I love eating pizzas. I have to show you this.
You mean your parents' house?
Red Baron. Really good pizza.
Red Baron, dude. Respect. Respect. That's what I eat.
There's nothing fancy about this kid. I kind of like him just because I'm like, oh, that would have been us if somebody's like, hey, you want to come over and you want to let us over and interview you for a little bit? Okay, cool.
Sure.
I'll do a fake MTV house tour.
Yeah, it's like Cribs.
Cribs if they didn't have anything.
But this luxurious life has been afforded to him by the Razor scooter.
I don't know. I think it's also because of his hustle. Look at how he social media'd back when it was much harder.
I have a lot of DVDs and videos.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite movies.
So he's
When
archiving.
it comes to bike videos, probably S&M Bike Video 4. I am
S&M
constantly
Bike
on the
videos?
computer.
What?
I do website designs. I do
Website designs, video
I go
editing
online and
on
talk to all
that?
the rest of the scooter riders
Look at this thing.
And keep communication through there on new tricks. So.
And communication. I like his hustle.
Yeah, I mean, on the internet, that's where I learn my new tricks, and I connect with my fellow scooter ride mates.
People who scoot for a living seem like they stick around forever. And you successfully nailed it. This guy is definitely a, hey, fellow kids kind of guy.
Yeah, crowd around.
Point X looks pretty sick. I don't know if they'll let you in the foam pits with a scream machine like Jarrett, but I'm definitely checking it out this summer.
He's like you, man. He knows the terms.
Yeah, he has all the drip.
and you got to know that scootering is something that gets passed down generation from generation. You know that old man you call Grandpa? He also used to do this.
Why is he mean mugging this old man?
You don't understand me,
look
old
at
man.
that.
I was once like you.
That's like Back to the Future, dude.
And what do you think the young kid and the old man learned?
That they're not that much different.
So they have to find a new common enemy because they both know what it's like to scooter.
They know
Not
what it's like to
Dad
ride,
here.
dude.
Not like Dad, because Dad only knows what it's like to maintain a porn star mustache.
Thanks for picking them up, Dad.
Dude, you're not kidding.
How was school, Nick? How do you like the scooter?
Why are you leaving in the kitchen like that?
They're like, we get it, but he doesn't get it. All right.
Now, once that kid came home from school, what else do you think he did? What do you think, I don't know, the people who use a Razor scooter for tricks also like to do in their spare time?
Play video games. Absolutely.
That is a dangerous stereotype, and
Next is the PlayStation 2.
Dude, I told you.
Always on the PlayStation 2. Love to
Are
play
you?
GTA
Okay.
3
Are you
and
always
GTA
on your
6.
scooter? Because I thought scooter was life, bro. Not Vice City.
Vice City's life too, okay?
Dude, it is. What a great game that was.
Not that that video is now dated.
Right.
Yeah, if it was a lifestyle, you wouldn't have to feel like you've been kidnapped to go compete with your friends. This is a kidnapping, right? Right here?
When Razor called me up and asked me if I wanted to go on a road trip, I said, sure, it sounds like fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
They
I'm
didn't tell
in.
me where I was going or what they had in store for me.
Wait, what?
They
Yeah,
duct taped me and said, hey,
that's kidnapping.
Kid, do your tricks.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that's against the law right there.
Don't worry, it's a happy ending. Did you know that there were actual camps for kids to get better at the craft?
Razor scooter camps? So wait, what if you brought the radical racer to the Razor scooter camp? Would you get picked on and beat up?
Yes. You'd be beaten with it.
Right away, everyone
Yeah,
was
we're at
looking
Point
to see if we
X.
were gonna
All
ride
right.
first. We could hardly wait to get out of the van and
Yeah,
check
because
things
we're
out.
gonna get so gnarly.
I grabbed my scooters and hiked
He
up
has
to the
multiple
park.
scooters?
A few of our guys were already sessioning.
They were already sessioning? Do you mean they were
Ricky
just
was
riding
there
on their
tearing it
scooters?
up. He was busting double tailwhips over the forest.
Aw, dude, a double toed over the Forester, bro? Whoa.
Oh, the best thing about that clip as it gets extended is he keeps like talking about other riders as if like these are all your friends that you know about.
Yeah.
So he's like, Brianna is working on the blah, blah, blah trick. Timmy and Steve were over there, and they're really worked up about being able to clear this kind of jump. And it's like, who are these people? It's like reading some kid's diary I don't even know.
No, it is. And he probably doesn't even know who they are or what their names are. He's just making this all up.
So it's a racket, too, because as you can see, Seacrest here is going to sell you some gear because you can't just use what's around.
No, you got to have the best of the best.
Do you want any of this stuff?
Not only does Razor make scooters, but check out this new line of backpacks they have. This thing
Of
can hold
course.
your skateboard and all your gear.
I thought I got
Check
a
it out,
free one
guys. We
from
got the
Shopper
punk
Image.
ramp.
So it can hold
and
my
the punk rail.
skateboard, but
They're
I
just small enough
but I
and
ride
light enough to
scooters.
go anywhere. A
Yep.
single piece of high
And you can get a
impact
punk
molded
ramp and
plastic
a
with
punk
included
rail.
screws, which you
Not a
gotta
regular
use to
rail.
secure it.
Dude, I need to have that so I can rip 450s in the driveway.
Oh, you can do 450s. I was going to ask, do you know how to do any tricks?
I think I could do the jump and spin the bars. I'm pretty sure I could do the kick where you spin it all the way around and land on it. But other than that, I was a pretty even keel scooterer per se.
So then we probably should get you a teacher.
Yeah.
They're
One
doing
that
some
wears
pretty cool
khakis.
tricks out
Not
there.
this guy again.
John Wilkins and Ollie Kamani,
Why, they're doing
two
cool
riders
tricks
in
out
Team
there.
Razors,
Dude, look at those
found their
mutt
way on the
chops.
scooters after years of snowboarding and skateboarding.
Oh
Now they're
yeah,
out there
they're
doing
just
shows,
ditching
jumping cars,
snowboarding and
taking what was
skateboarding because they
once
want to jump
just
on the
a mode of
Razor craze.
transportation to the next level. Not too different from those other
So wait,
board
are you
sports.
riding both? Dude, he's radical.
He is beyond radical. He could be allowed in the parks, which, as I learned here, you remember the trampoline parks? How they have those foam blocks?
Right.
Well, that's what they use for you to practice your scooter tricks.
Oh my goodness. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that looks hella fun.
It does, but could you imagine the pain of trying to dig your scooter out of that?
Yeah.
As you're like half sinking into it?
And trying to dig yourself out of it because you're sweaty and those things just like stick right to you. It's brutal.
Oh god, yeah, and they all carry a certain smell that's never been removed from the thing too.
Yeah, everybody's sweat at once kind of smell.
For the last 2 years, 3 years, however long the park's been open.
Yep.
Now, when you said that looks sweet, I thought this looked sweet. I want to do this.
Is he gonna jump into the water?
Oh god!
Oh, dude, let's go!
And his scooter never worked properly again.
No, or it went up somewhere the sun doesn't shine. Oh my goodness. But dude,
then,
I would totally do that. You gotta do those. You gotta pull out those kind of tricks to impress the babes.
I saw that one girl, and she looked like she could have been impressed. Either that, or she's like, "Oh god, these stupid kids are flying out in their scooters again."
Just trying to get some damn sun.
That friggin' bar is gonna smash right through his teeth, and I'm gonna be here, and I'm gonna be the only one on duty, and I'm gonna feel a sense of responsibility.
Yep.
Now, I didn't realize scooters can also get crazy distance on jumps.
Well, I think if you get fast enough, right?
Yeah, but did you really think it could clear this kind of distance?
Whoa, dude, what?
And you have to keep up in the ante, right? So why not jump your friends?
You can't be outdone by your pals.
No, but you can use your pals as, I don't know, a prop.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Fingers crossed that I don't break anybody's bones here. Oh, landed it.
So the best part is when I found that clip.
Who's Brandon Smith?
He's gonna teach you scooter tricks. But with that last clip, when he jumps those kids, the outtakes have this one little boy going, I hope he doesn't land on me. I don't know if I want to be part of this.
Well, that kid is smart.
We got a teacher so that you can get better at scooter tricks.
Heck yeah.
Hey, I'm Brendan Smith, and I'm going to show you how to do a couple tricks on the Razor scooter.
All right.
Now, safety's the most important thing, so always wear your helmet and don't try
Guys,
and
more
make
of a
sure it's
kid
a
nose than the other guy.
experienced rider.
Yeah, and make sure it's a Razor helmet.
So we got to start with our most basic trick,
Yeah.
which I probably couldn't even do either.
The first trick is a wheelie. Now, to do a wheelie, you want to make sure your back foot is close to the brake, and then when you're ready to do it, lift
Does
up
he
with
seem
your
out of
arms so
breath?
that your nose is in the air.
What's
and you can
that?
use your other foot
He seems
as a
out of
balance.
breath.
Well, dude,
It'll
he's
take a little
scooting
bit of
around.
practice, but once you get it down, you'll be doing it just like this.
Or like he's gonna cry.
Yeah. It's like, hey, weren't you really good on those, Razor scooters like 7 years ago?
Yes.
Do you want to be in a video campaign about them? I'm a little old for those now, don't you think? Nah, we'll young you up.
Yeah. Well, how are you gonna do that? Well, first of all, it's not Brandon anymore. It's Brendan.
Brendan, right? Because it's cooler.
Y's make you like 5 years younger.
Yep.
And you
And
can
if
do.
we toss a Z in there, forget about it.
And then you can do cool things like sit on your handlebar.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And then he falls in
All
the
right,
train
this
tracks
is radical,
and dies.
dude. This is radical.
Brendan, what's our next trick? We've
do we
mastered the
got?
first part.
Now, grinding is when I jump up on a curb and slide on the bottom side of the deck.
Oh.
Now, when I do this, I want to make
I
sure
gotta clear
the
it, gotta
whole
clear it.
front end of the deck is
Oh,
up on the
good, he
curb,
got it.
with my front wheel rolling parallel to the edge of the curb.
Dude, chicks dig that.
Well, this is what happens when you fail doing these tricks.
Johnny Rocket over here.
I'm done
See
with the
ya.
scooter. It's over.
It was at that moment he decided, you know what? This whole scooting thing isn't for me. I'm going to go inside and play Vice City.
The next trick is called a tail whip. A tail whip is where you jump in the air and spin the deck of the scooter
Which is what
360
everybody tried.
degrees and land back
Oh,
on
yeah.
it. Now I'm
And you
gonna show how
would
to do
bust
it.
your shins up so bad, dude.
Yes, because this is the type of thing where
There
if you
it
had a
is.
bad scooter,
The way you actually
you don't
do a
know
tail
how
whip
fast the
is when
weight's
you
spinning
jump in
back
the air,
around because they all had
give the
different
deck a
weights
little
to
bit of a
it.
kick with your
Yep.
back foot, and use your
So
arms
I
to spin
remember
the deck around
the
360.
bootleg
When it comes
scooter
around, grab it
had
with
a
your
little
feet,
extra
land on the
weight,
deck,
so the
and
timing
ride
would
away.
be off. So you could
Yeah.
nail this trick with a razor, but if you did it with the other one, you'd totally hit your ankle.
Ugh, brutal.
Like, look at this kid.
All right, that just had like 3 revolutions around. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that's like impressive. But
Like
again,
this-
these are like adults doing these tricks.
Yeah, because ours would look more like this, right?
Right. Oh, God, no. Oh, my ankle, my shin. Oh, it's the worst. That's the actual representation of... Dude, that happens so many times.
And it killed kind of your momentum to want to continue learning, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, you needed an ice pack right away.
And this kid actually kind of explains why that happened. I know, you're learning from a little kid. It makes you feel a little self-conscious.
It does, it does.
How the back sweep really...
Is this the kid that was bashing them earlier?
Yep.
Now this back sweep, I feel like I have no control over the scooter. And also, I hit my knee on this.
Oh, I bet.
It really hurts.
Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it, kid?
So like, this is what makes it extremely hard to do tricks on and stuff like that.
Yeah, now let's see you actually pull it off, all right?
It probably looks something like this.
Ah, stupid trick. Oh my gosh. I hate it so much.
Dude, I gotta be real. These kids are making me kind of feel bad about my own Razor scooter skills. Can we see them just eat it for a little while or what?
All right, your wish is my command.
Please.
We all fall down. Well, he fell down.
Easy, go.
He absolutely did.
This is when your friends
Scoot,
convince
take
you you're
one.
really good, really talented, and
Oh, God. Dude, don't do it. Oh, no. Oh, jeez,
one more time.
Please. What happened? Did he just bail before he even started? That kid's got a family.
Oh, God.
Oh, dude, he's lucky. That could have been way worse.
And that is why, as this guy says, you gotta wear a helmet.
Now, like any other sport, even riding a scooter can be dangerous. So
Yeah,
remember,
we clearly-
always wear your helmet and pads.
And that helmet will keep you from doing dumb things like this.
Oh, my God. Did he just jump over somebody that wasn't wearing a helmet and then decided to take it to the trampoline?
Yes. Yes, he did.
These kids are hooligans.
Well, we were hooligans too, because I think this might remind you of a certain somebody we knew from back in the day. This kid is gonna scooter, well, from an unusual location.
Of course he is. No, don't do it.
He scootered out of a tree.
That is just ridiculous.
Now, who else do you remember from our past you have to tell the story of came out of a tree?
Oh, dude, super ultra mega
Tony Orlando.
Tony Orlando, yeah. He was God, I don't even remember how we found him. He was a friend of a friend of a friend of some kind. And it was his like first day with us wrestling in the backyard.
He really wanted to be part of the Backyard Federation, so he wanted to impress us with how crazy he was going to be. And what did he do?
So he decided the big tree in the backyard. We've been up it a bit, you know, from a ladder standpoint. He said, "Screw the ladder, I'm climbing to the top of the tree." So this dude found the most unsafe branch ever and just lunged off the branch and just dropped a leg drop. Dude, he had to be, what, 22, 23 feet in the air? And just crashed down onto these used mattresses and knocked the wind out of himself. The opponent rolled out of the way like a minute before he jumped. It was brutal. But from that point on, we knew. Super ultra mega Tony Orlando, he's in. He's extreme.
With that many adjectives describing him, he had to be in. He was super, he was ultra, and he was mega. And
super ultra mega Tony Orlando.
And the funniest thing, too, is he's trying to impress the two of us. And I think when he does it, we're laughing so hard and burying him in commentary about how stupid that was.
I think we were just so happy that we had that on film, honestly.
Yeah, because you just see him coming crashing down. You're like, did he go for an elbow drop? Is he trying to do a swanton, a senton? Wait, a leg drop?
Nope.
He's going to kill himself.
Dude, butt first. Butt first. Lands on his tailbone, knocks the wind out of himself. He was down for a while.
And these aren't like king-sized or even queen-sized matches. These are like single beds for like, I don't know, $70 that you put in like a sixth grader's room there. Probably pulled up the side
and
of
they're
the road.
super worn out. Just the springs are gone in them. And dude, I couldn't believe. I was like, he went ass first. Dude.
He had a super, ultra, mega injury.
Yeah. He did, absolutely.
The music we've heard today, how would you describe it?
Dude, it's definitely pop punk. It's very Good Charlotte, Sum 41, just that kind of vibe, that kind of era. But knockoff versions.
Right, you can't totally clear those songs. You need something that sounds like it. And I call this the "My Parents Don't Understand Me, I'm So Edgy" genre of music. So let's hear the best of.
Please. Yeah.
Radio.
I love that word. I can hear the wheels. Reminds me of you.
Sounds like it comes out of my iPod.
On your way to school.
It's not even on a scooter.
What? Oh, there he goes. I love not the professionally shot ones. I like the homemade videos. There's more room for disaster. Look at that wheelie, bro.
And then some Christian rock right here. It sounds like Creed.
It kind of does. You have to do the hand.
With Razor Scooter. It's Razor
Wait a minute,
Scooter.
Razor Video Magazine? What sense does that make?
Because if you're so into...
It's a video magazine?
Yeah, it's back in the day before you could host short form videos, you sent out a cassette tape every month. So the in-depth article is just skate montages, scooter montages. Actually, with these, I think they had to pad out the timing. So as you saw, there's like scooters, but then there's like skateboards, then there's like bike tricks. And it's like, okay, well, what does those all have to do with each other? What are we doing here?
Yeah. It's almost like the And One mixtape.
Yes.
It was all just, a collage of different moves and games from across the, country, different players or different scooterers, if that's even a word. But this was like an And One mixtape of just like scooter tricks.
Well, yeah, you gotta get...
Coming out next, it's the professor!
You gotta have scooter celebrities. Now, this next one, I called this Baby Hoobastank.
Okay.
If you promise to return this broken heart to me, I'll be okay in these dreams that turn to nightmares.
Dude, as soon as he hits the trick, the hook comes in. This makes me want to buy a scooter.
Baby Third Eye Blind. Oh, God. Was that a tricycle? Yep. This is Baby Blink 182.
Oh, dude, it totally is. That's a sweet bike.
See, why are there bicycle tricks on this tape?
I almost bought a bike yesterday.
Well, now you're gonna buy one now so you can do these tricks.
Yeah, either that or the scooter.
Oh, I mean, it's a great form of transportation, as we've learned. Now we have Baby Daughtry.
What is that thing? That is not a scooter.
Now, on a scooter magazine show, when they're trying to promote a hot new artist, what do they sound like? What do you think this hot new artist sounds like?
Sounds like Alien Ant Farm or something.
Well, this is the band Sluggo, and they're famous for having a song on the XXX Vin Diesel movie soundtrack. And the guy definitely sold it like, it's Sluggo. Oh, what? I don't know who that is. So, are they any good?
Long days.
Well, if it's in that movie, that was a big movie.
Sad times back.
Jenny, are you okay? Are you okay? Dude, they're rock and roll, those guys.
And that...
What is this thing? This is the Razor scooter we need in Portland, Maine. One that treads in snow.
This was my absolute favorite song, just based on the lyrics. I don't know why this was made, but I love it.
My mom likes to hang around, doesn't bother me at all. She's got more tattoos than my friends.
It's like a snowboard with handles.
My mom.
She was around in 77 and around in 84. My friends say for a mom, she's pretty hardcore.
3, 2, 1.
And lastly, to keep scooter momentum going, what do? You got to innovate, right?
Being a Razor scooterist is all about innovation.
So, can you understand this product that they were trying to push?
Probably
What's the
not,
difference
but let's give it a
between
view
me
here.
and you? Me and you.
Oh, dude, look at the Discman. Anti-skip.
So this kid sees the new product from Razor. It's called the Screamer.
What the hell? The Screamer. That's when the police show up. Somebody help this poor kid. It's like a tricycle by Razor.
All right, so he has a meltdown over it, but then he doesn't want it, doesn't walk in the store, doesn't look at it anymore.
I don't know that I'd buy something called the Scream Machine.
So then maybe you want something built by alien life forms, as this commercial implies.
Yeah. UFO lookout post.
Wow, it's on wheels. It's carving.
What is this
Oh,
thing?
Jed, look, we done found one.
Power wing.
What the hell is that?
The Power Wing.
The Power Wing by Razor.
This is my turn. You ready? Look.
They can't even see the UFOs behind them.
False alarm. Did some kids having fun on a
Dude.
power wing?
You know what's weird?
Power wing.
I capped this commercial, watched it, pulled it, and I didn't even realize that there was a friggin' alien behind them anytime until you just said that.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the joke.
I was kind of
They
caught
were
up.
like, oh yeah, there's no UFOs out here. But dude, that Power Wing looks pretty dope. Now, this is just a prime example of when a company has like, you know, one super successful item and they're like, you know what? We're going to introduce every type of transportation, just give it a crazy name. That is just a tricycle.
It is just a tricycle. I don't like that one either. I don't like any of these innovations. Like, obviously, like you said, we were too old to really care about a motor. So this one right here, again, didn't do anything for me. All right, so back in the day, obviously,
like
old scooters.
Making fun of your own product.
So this guy's riding
And
his
then here
vacuum
comes
cleaner.
Marty. Yeah.
I don't know, but I hate him.
That's Tommy Hoover. Dude, that thing is so whack. I'm out.
And this one might be the worst of them all.
Don't tell me this one has a motor on it too.
I really don't understand the point of this thing at all. I hate its design. Now, the host in this video, I found amazing because she can't even hide how much this thing sucks. And you've been there, right?
See, wait. Well, I thought he was the host and he was trying to sell her.
Oh no, he's the salesman.
Okay, let's see this here.
But you've been in this situation, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to try to convince somebody that either where you are is the most happening place and you need to be here, or like, you know, example, I'm doing remotes now every Friday called Food Truck Fridays. I'm giving away $100 of hot cash. We're all around Nashville and the other, you know, surrounding towns. And so far, we've visited some really cool food trucks, but I'm sure along the way, there's going to be one where I'm like, this one's kind of not really what I hoped it would be. But guess what? On the air, it's the most amazing place that's selling the most amazing product.
Damn right. Being a professional. Can she pull it off?
Damn right.
Give it a push.
I'm gonna tell you right here.
Give
Give it a push first.
Wait, what the hell? Where'd they get this Mars?
Oh, watch my bike.
You're gonna take out that guy's bike.
She has no idea how to use this thing. Oh god. Oh god.
I'm losing momentum.
Dude, she's gonna take out the whole.
Can she get round?
So what, you push side to side here? Is that how it goes? I think I've seen these.
She hates this.
It seems like a freaking workout.
She absolutely.
Excellent, huh? Yeah. That's what I would have said. Wait, why don't you show us?
She's like trying to do her best, and she's like, please cut this in editing. I sound so out of breath.
Yeah.
I'm not dressed for it. Look at those pants.
I want to know, how does this one fold up though? Because they're like I think what we're learning throughout this process today, Joe, is the like original Razor scooter kind of model. Like it's basic and it just gets the job done. All this other stuff is just like super gimmicked, right?
It is very gimmicked. I think like once you hit the perfect design, every modification kind of takes away from it. I don't want to sit. I don't want a third wheel. The original concept is fine.
It is.
Just make a good product. So she's gonna try it again.
Well, I've got all the kit on, so I know I'm going to be safe.
Okay, now she's doing the... All right, but it has a motor, but you're pushing it anyway.
Yeehaw!
Boring.
Yes.
Add in the chants, Joe. Boring. Boring.
I know, and that is almost what I would say the Razor scooter turned out to be. Just a temporary excitement, but then after a certain point, you're like, what else?
It was pretty quick too. They were like, it was super hot, and now that we've grown a bit older here, we can kind of start to recognize all of these fads. And I just remember being a kid and being told, oh, that's just a fad. You're not even gonna want that in another 6 months. And it's like you can't even fathom what that even means. You're always gonna want this, like the Yo Mega Brain Yo-Yo, which is still pretty cool to me because I'm a nerd and they're just cool. But I don't go out of my way to buy them. And like same with a Razor scooter, I'm not gonna go. I can now openly say, yeah, it was a fad. But at that time, at that age, it was the coolest thing on the whole block. You had to have it.
How many yard sales in 2005, 2006 had fake ramps, fake, what the heck's the fake rails, the scooter itself, the backpack, everything. Just, we got to get it out of the house. Get it out of here. You want this? $50 for all of it. You know what I paid?
It's yours.
I paid up to $300 for all of this stuff. $400.
It's crazy because you told me at the peak it sold what, 2 million?
5 million
no, was it
in
5?
the first 6 months of 2000.
Okay, 5 million in the first 6 months, right? Nobody was riding these things like 2-3 years later. So you have to think they either got handed down to your younger brother, sister, what have you, or like you said, they all just got mass auctioned off at yard sales, and it was just you don't really even see them anymore.
Well,
but they're still for sale. You can come across them in stores, but you don't see kids out riding them around anymore.
No, it's kind of one of those things like the fad's still there, and they'll keep selling it forever and ever because there is a market. But if you were to point out to the kids now, like back in the day, people would kill for this thing, and you could barely keep them in stock, and they'd look at it being like, there is 9 of them on that shelf right now, and
it's not even touchscreen.
Yeah, nobody cares about it. It's fully in stock. It's there. It doesn't have this on it. It doesn't do that. Yeah, but it used to be.
I think if I did go get one, it would just be nostalgia. Just to be like, yeah, I'm gonna cruise around on this for a bit, and then maybe film something with it, and then it's gone.
Yes. You would definitely do like we're doing today. You're gonna stop in. You're gonna reflect about Razor, and then you're gonna part and. Well, that's it. Hey, thanks for the memories.
Thanks for the memories,
like
indeed.
The
Razor scooters. And all the knockoffs, too.
Hey, you know what they say about the Radical Racer? It is just as good.
If you ask Shelly, no, trust me. Management knows, they know the team that, yes, trust me. This one, it's better because I could get you the scooter, I could get you the knee pads and the helmet for the price of what just the Razor scooter would cost. So who's the winner now?
Plus, was Razor scooter radical? Maybe, but it didn't say so on the box.
No, I would have rather, rode one that was radical, because that's cool.
Yeah, you were riding, what, slightly above average scooter?
I swear, the first one I had. It was a skeeter? No, it just in the Razor font. Like on that part where the stamp is for the name, it just said scooter, I think.
Maybe it's time for Tim to come out and let you know that he built this from stuff that he found on Big Trash Day, and he made his own scooter.
He probably took like spare parts from the back of TVs and stuff, and just constructed a scooter. It's a Tim Pace production.
He stenciled out Razor in front of it, just hoping you didn't use it enough for the paint to start wearing.
Oh my God!
You not
that's
to stumble
amazing.
upon an old Angel Fire website and being like, wait a minute, how come the handlebars aren't as smooth as this authentic one?
Right.
Wait, you've been on the internet again? Did you fire up the Dreamcast and use the web browser?
The Dreamcast, LOA, Log on America. Dude, that was the best.
Well, that's been the Razor Scooter, and this has been Pop Culture Paradise. If you like this episode, Jeff, what the hell do they do?
Please like, comment, and subscribe, all 3 if you're feeling up to it. For Joe, I'm Jeff, and we'll catch you next time right here on Pop Culture Paradise.
Radical!